Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of my 2023 Natural Bodybuilding Competition Prep Series. We're 5 weeks out. This is week 31 while we're wrapping up week 31 of the competition prep. We've been going for a good amount of time now and we're getting awfully close to competition day. So my low this week was 176.8. That might go down again tomorrow. It might actually go down again the next day. We'll see. The week is not over yet, but we are in the 176s now. This is pretty cool. So when I first started way back in January, I was 210 pounds. Earlier in December, I might have actually been a little bit heavier with some of the Christmas eating, but January, I weighed in at 210 pretty much on the dot, and now we are just about 35 pounds down. When Jeff and I first met up way back in December, we kind of predicted that my stage weight was going to be around 175, and we're pretty close. Funny enough, so we're talking now, and we're actually thinking my weight is going to be below that, if not for. So I've got 4 competitions planned. The first one on September 9th, so again 5 weeks out. We're thinking that my lowest during this prep will probably be like when I'm absolutely as peeled as I possibly can be. We're thinking that we'll get down maybe right down to 170. So we're going to definitely be below the 175 mark. So like probably between maybe even 172 to 174, but we might even, and again, it depends on the look, we might get down right to 170. So geez Louise, we still got a ways to go. Every pound lost from this point, to be perfectly honest, like I can feel it. It's a little bit different than losing weight when you're at the top, at the start of the prep or the middle of the prep. When you get to the latter parts of the prep and you start losing a half pound or a full pound, you start to feel it more and more. I'm finding now that like on my lowest weigh-ins, like if my low weigh-ins land on a training day, it's almost, and it could be a like a nocebo type of an effect. Like I almost like notice it when I'm at the gym. Like I almost feel a little bit more hollow, a little empty. You know what? Now that I'm saying it's probably all in my head, or maybe not, because I mean, geez, we're getting closer and closer to essential body fat levels. But it's pretty eye-opening. Like you don't really realize how much fat you have to lose until you're like at these stages and you're like, crap, I still got some fat to lose. Don't get me wrong though, like we're pretty lean, we're looking pretty good. The changes that I'm noticing are pretty neat. Not gonna lie, even my training session today, when I'm like looking at my lower body, my legs, and it's funny when I train like my leg press this morning that I did, for example, like I lose when I train them really hard. A lot of the separation disappears, like it blurs when my legs get pumped. But one thing that is showing more, like when I'm doing the leg press or when I'm training or when I'm just looking at them in the mirror, is like they've got a different outline, a different shape that I've never seen before, which is really, really cool. The lines get blurred when I train them because I get pumped and there's fluid retention and that sort of thing, so they're not as sharp looking, but they have like a grainier kind of a look now. Like I got some veins in some weird places on the lower body, and just the shape, like the overarching shape of my legs is kind of getting really cool. So that's awesome. We're noticing some pretty cool changes, like even the upper body. And this is all like, you know, in past preps I'm like, no, I'm pretty much as lean as I can be. It's like, actually no, you're not. And I'm finding that out this time. It's like even the separation in like between my shoulders and my biceps and triceps, like it's pretty different. It's pretty, like I'm surprised like every week by the new things that I'm noticing. So yeah, we're doing good. Training's going pretty well still. Not gonna lie, it is getting harder. So I get a little bit of that, you know, before a training session, I can feel the conditioning, I can feel the level of leanness I'm at now. I don't feel like I'm at my strongest and most energetic. So like before a training session, I kind of have to rally myself a little bit more than I would have even a month ago and be like, come on, man, like you can do this, you got this. And I mean, it always goes well. We're still training hard, and our mind is in the training when we are there, and we're feeling it in the right places. Geez, these split squats, for example, like they're feeling unreal. Like the slow tempi and like the pauses, like I really get this like muscle fiber splitting effect. And that's really what I'm aiming for a lot of how I'm training now, is like I'm going for that feeling of like splitting muscle fibers for not everything, but for a lot of the exercises that I'm doing. Lots of pauses, very controlled tempo, lots of poise, just trying to get as much stimulus as possible, as much mechanical tension as possible in the safest way and the most effective way possible at this point. So not doing anything silly at the gym whatsoever. We're still training hard, but every single rep is in the pocket right now. Like we are not straying from good technique. It's just we're at the, I mean, that's how it should always be. But I mean, now there's just, as we're getting this lean, there's just less room for error. We don't want to risk any type of an injury whatsoever. And we're feeling good. Geez, I am injury free right now. Like it's unreal. Like it's crazy how well that this is going, as far as like how the body is holding up. Not looking really, and Jeff's giving me his eyes on this, but I'm not looking terribly flat either. We're getting leaner and sharper, but I'm not, for most of the week anyways. At the end of the week, like when I get to my low days, that's when I start to get a little flat. But I mean, overall we're holding pretty well as far as fullness goes. But there you go. The majority of the fat that I have to lose, well, it's still everywhere. I'm still being surprised by where fat is coming off that I didn't even know it was fat. It's just like, oh, well, there it goes, and now I look different. But there is still a good amount of fat to lose, like on my glutes, on my butt, and maybe the bottoms of my thighs too, or I should say the tops of my hamstrings, like, and like the inner part of my thighs. Like there's a good amount of fat to lose. So if I'm at 176.8 and we're gonna get all the way down to like low 170s or even 170, like a good chunk of that body fat's gonna be coming off the good old booty. I am starting to get some lines on the glutes now. I always knew that the last place for me to lose fat is my butt, and sure enough, this time around, it's on my butt. Still got a good amount of fat to lose there. We are starting to get some lines, like definitely have lines on this, like when you see them from the side, and on the bottom as well too, like bottom of the glutes, the lines are starting to come through, but like, you know, the rest of the glutes, top of the glutes, like we still got a good amount of fat there. So good news is we got time, and we're going to make use of that time and lose a little bit more body fat to hopefully get leaner in all of those places. Something that Jeff reminds me of, though, is like we don't want to sacrifice muscularity and symmetry just to get shredded glutes. Like this isn't a shredded glutes contest. It's the whole package. So we're going to keep sharpening, and we're going to do the best we can to get the kind of conditioning that we're looking for. And that's the goal, is elite level conditioning, but we're not going to do it in sacrificing our muscularity and our symmetry, which is pretty good. We'll see how it stacks up soon enough, but it's not terrible. So we want to hang on to that, and we're not going to do anything risky or weird, like diet too aggressively. Now, on that note, though, we are going to be making some changes starting this weekend. So what I have been running over the past month or so is five low days, 2 high days. The high days being like almost 3,000 calories, about 2,950 calories. Low days just above 2,000, which I think, with a little bit of my own measuring error as I've been tracking, is actually closer to around 1,900 calories. Anyways, what we're doing now is we're actually going to take out one of those high days. So instead of it being 2 high days and 5 low days, we are now going to starting this week. So this weekend, we're going to take out one of those weekend high days, replace it with a low day, and then just have 1 high day. So now we're changing it. We're changing to 6 low days and 1 high day, because we want to push for that elite level of conditioning. We want to get leaner. We want to sharpen up. Things are going quite well, but again, like energy levels are pretty good physiologically. I am in one piece. I'm training well. To challenge, I mean, my goodness, I mean, getting to this point, like, of course we're going to feel it, but overall, all things considered, like, I can definitely handle this, and I'm actually very excited about it. I'm actually, when Jeff was like, let's do it, let's take out a high day, I'm actually quite excited about that, because I want to see like what differences we can will come into play upon adding another low day. So very, very excited. I'm up for the challenge. I mean, at the end of the day, like for those of you guys that are watching that are doing your own preps too, like I don't know about you guys, but like I'm not doing this because it's easy. I'm doing it because it's a challenge, and like the fulfillment comes from the challenge itself, and I'm just excited to see how we turn out. That's for sure. And hey, I still get that high day on Sunday, and that's going to be a good one. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Very exciting stuff. The physique is looking pretty good. I'll just show here. So again, we're sharpening up little by little. We're getting a little bit better each week, maybe a lot better, a little bit better. So pretty happy with things on that front. But yeah. So, yeah, and cool update here too. I actually just earlier this afternoon ordered my posing trunks. So I ordered 2 pairs, 2 different colors, and those are going to arrive probably within the next, we'll say within the next 2 weeks. So they're gonna send them off Monday, Tuesday, and then they should arrive within 7 to 10 days after they send them. So very exciting there. Gonna get my posing trunks and I can practice with those on, but maybe I'm glad that they're not here quite yet, so I can lose a little bit more of that fat on my glutes. So there you go. But anyways, guys, thank you so much, as always, for watching this video and supporting my journey. I'm really excited to share it with you. I'm pumped. Geez, we're getting so close. 5 weeks out is nothing in the grand scheme of how long my whole prep is. I've been dieting for 31 weeks. We're almost in week 32, so 5 weeks out really is nothing in the scheme of all this, the grand scheme. So we're getting very close. But anyways, guys, if you like the video, please like it. And by the way, if you guys have any bodybuilding, natural bodybuilding questions, leave them in the comments. I love this stuff. Or questions about my own prep, leave them in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more videos like this. I'm going to keep sharing more of my journey right up till all of my competitions, and I got 4 stacked up. So if you're interested in my journey, please go ahead and subscribe and stick around. Love having you here. Anyways, guys, thanks as always, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.